shorter than normal, and we will be taking questions, but we're gonna postpone them for tomorrow because today is a very different day, and we're participating in Extra Life. But more on that from Neville. Thank you guys. And again, my name's Gary Bart. I'm CEO of Steam Exchange. Neville, whenever you're ready, floor is yours, sir.
Thanks, Gary. Welcome everyone to the AMA, and again, welcome to Extra Life Game Day. So we've been looking forward to this for a while. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks. So here we are. We did get started early this afternoon, around 12 o'clock Eastern time, and we are going to try our best to go until 12 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So it's a full 24 hours, and feel free to join us in the gaming room if you haven't already. Again, welcome to the AMA. I'm going to pass it to Chris for a quick introduction, and we'll go from there.
Hey everyone, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Chris Beckford. I am the Vice President and Head of Infrastructure here at Steam Exchange. As Neville alluded to, and Gary also, today is a very special day for the family and for the community with regards to the involvement in Extra Life. I know quite a few of you are plugged in and gaming away, so we truly appreciate everyone's engagement today. Let's keep rocking this here. I know we still got another few hours, so make sure you're well hydrated, I should say, and plugging away there from a gaming perspective. Today will be just a bit of a more of a brief AMA as to some of our usual ones. But what I will do here is just pass it over to Neville for our operational breakdown. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. So as we mentioned, today is Extra Life Game Day. We might say it a few more times during this AMA. So congratulations to those who's taking part already. If you haven't joined the team yet, you can still join the team. And even if you don't join Game Day today, the operations does stay open until the end of the year, right? So it's not just today that we can accomplish this goal. We can accomplish it all the way up until December 31st. So just to talk about a little bit about what we've raised so far. So Steam Exchange has contributed $1,500 US so far, and the rest of the community came up with an additional 1,000. So what we're doing as an incentive to, I guess, get more people on board with Extra Life is announce a match. So for up to $5,000, we're going to match every donation. So we're at 2,500 now. Once you reach 7,500, Steam Exchange will add an additional $5,000 into the pool. So gear up, get your games ready, join the gaming chat, join the team, whatever you have to do, let's get the show on the road. A little bit of operation updates from me. So you know that we're always looking to scale our organization. So we are putting out new job postings for additional positions. So scaling doesn't stop for us, right? So Q1 2022 is around the corner. So we're going to continue scaling so we can reach our goal from an operational standpoint for the organization. And quickly, we did touch about it last AMA that the education modules are going to begin development very soon. So I'm happy to say that we have broken them down into stages, and those stages are going to look something like 3 stages. Where number 1 being we're going to work through all the scripts. The stage number 2 for the development of the modules is the animation aspect, and then number 3 would be the development and integration into our platform. So education modules are officially in development. That's the operational update from me. Again, Chris had mentioned this was going to be a more brief AMA because it is game day and we have our team ready to go. So with that, I will pass it off to Enki to talk a little bit about marketing.
Thanks, Neville. Hey, everyone. Good day. My name is Enki, and I am the head of PR at Steam Exchange. I hope everyone is well. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Welcome to the Steam Exchange family. In terms of marketing, we do have a few exciting updates to share, and we will get into those shortly. But before then, let's just take a step back and go through what our approach has been thus far, right? So essentially, it's been dual-pronged in the sense that we are focusing, like we mentioned, on some real-world marketing and some initiatives that are focused specifically towards the BSC space as well. So thus far, we've been balancing it out fairly well by using platforms like YouTube and Twitter, which are essentially platforms that have a good overlap with crypto-savvy and non-crypto-savvy individuals. So for YouTube specifically, we've been putting out content in different language sort of optimizations and influencers from different parts of the world. This again ties into the growth of our global community as well. So I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but in the last few weeks, we've actually opened up multiple other community groups, right? So I believe there's Brazilian, Indonesian, Philippines, with more to come. And this, of course, is in addition to the existing large Chinese community that we have. So more communities to expand on shortly there. And just tying back to YouTube, right? So it's important to remember that this content essentially stays out there forever. So it's compounding on views, it's compounding on impressions, and we've been slowly climbing the influencer ladder and in talks with some, I'd say, mid to high tier content creators. So essentially more to share here. And this is an avenue that we will continue to focus on. So if we look towards Twitter, Twitter has been a good platform to us. Our tweets typically get massive community support behind them and trend across hashtags that we call out. So we were also most recently in a Twitter poll where our community showed great strength, and essentially, I believe we're currently in the lead against some fairly big names out there, right? So this again is a platform that we will continue to push as well. It's also been good exposure for our Extra Life event. So I know we've touched upon that, and we do. Today is a special day, as we mentioned, but Extra Life themselves and Sick Kids Toronto and the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, all of them have engaged with our tweets in some way. So definitely the word is out there. So that's what we've been taking part in Extra Life. And those two platforms, essentially YouTube and Twitter, they do fall in the middle, like we mentioned, so they're good for us. But when we look specifically within the BSC space, we've been engaged with a few AMAs in the last week. One of them was a Dutch community group, again tying into our global sort of community vision. Both of these AMAs had good engagement, and we will continue to do a few in the upcoming weeks as well. We've also explored Facebook group posts. There are quite a few groups out there, and we've essentially tested a weekly campaign with 2 posts a day on 7 different Facebook groups. We're currently on day 4, so we'll be able to make a better judgment there once the entire exercise is completed. And also to expand on our existing Chinese community, we will be running a few banner and sort of promo token ads on a mid-tier coin site just to gauge if this garners a good response. We are also considering doing a few other sort of coin watcher / tracker sites to get some banner placements there. Tying back again to our real world marketing. So this is some exciting news here. We've been exploring, like I mentioned, different options that will be timed strategically for closer to exchange launch as well. But these go hand in hand with our existing Google Ads campaigns that we will continue to scale. So we've also gotten some more media interest around Steam Exchange. And I anticipate that a few more media articles are in the near future, will be published shortly. So the exciting aspect that we were mentioning is we've actually been in serious talks with Rogers Sports and Media. So we've secured 3 different initiatives with them, and these are all fairly large and mainstream media outlets. 2 of them being radio sort of placements, and one of them being a TV channel out here in Canada. So we have a few meetings lined up with their team in the upcoming week just to finalize all these details. But these are exciting times indeed. So super excited about this initiative. It should be massive exposure. And this marketing, again, ties into our open lines of communication, right? So on our website, we have an integrated chatbot. We have a support email, the Steam Exchange phone number, and all of our social media outlets as well. They essentially allow us to reach and communicate with individuals far and wide. So I want to close by saying that, as I've said before, everyone will know about Steam Exchange. It's just a matter of when. So on that note, thank you all for your time. And I'm just going to take the opportunity to pass the mic over to Chris.
Thanks, Enki. As always, a great breakdown from a marketing perspective. From an infrastructure side of the ball, as always, we continue to source and ramp up our overall size of our team because there's a loads and loads of work down the pipeline here for stage 3. So from an overall team perspective, we continue to grow there. Since the last AMA, we've actually brought on an additional lead developer who will also be instrumental in the downstream delivery for our stage 3 roadmap. So in total right now, as it currently stands, our team size from a development perspective sits at 3 leads and 4 junior developers. So lots of work to go around, and the reason why we're ramping up here is just to make sure that we're not over exhausting our resources, right? We want to keep our resources eyes fresh, because when you're coding, if anyone knows about coding in the community, staring at code for hours on ends does get a little weary on your eyes. So by having this ramp up here, it continues to make sure that we're fresh and continue to keep the ball rolling from a high velocity throughput against our project plans, right? We've talked a lot with regards to the coming weeks and all the major aspects for the decentralized exchange, which features our quick swap and swap functionalities, the blockchain, the native coin, and also to the landing page, which we've been working pretty hard on over here as well too. And this week, we were hoping today to maybe give you a little bit sneak peek, but next week we'll be dropping some snippets there for you. So that's going to be some good stuff there. Also, for those who don't know, Gary, again, our fearless leader, is also a developer, and he's been developing something from a very key mechanism perspective on our side. So I'll toss it over to Gary, and maybe Gary can give us a little bit of a rundown in terms of what you've been working on, my good man.
Right on. Thank you, Chris. So some of you know, some of you don't know. In order to go from mainnet to smart chain, you need a bridge. So we've been working on the bridge. I can say that from my standpoint, the coding of it is at least, I want to say, 50 to maybe 60% complete. The API is finished on it, and we'll explain it more in detail later on, and how it works, and who can use it and for what purpose, and how it integrates more deeply into our entire platform actually, and anybody else in the future that's going to use it. And again, guys, I just want to thank you all for understanding that today's AMA is very different from all our normal AMAs. We will be doing questions. Um, I think we're gonna go ahead and do them tomorrow. I think that's a better time frame for it. Or yeah, let's go ahead and call it for tomorrow for the questions, whatever you guys have. And if you want to throw it in the chat, I know that Pete and Enki will still be here so they can answer some. So we will take a few today, but the majority of them, obviously, in efforts to keep it more um, condensed, uh, we'll have to push them back until tomorrow. But nevertheless, whatever questions you have will be answered by tomorrow. So again, Pete and Anki will stick around. We will also stick around here for a little while longer to answer as many as we could before we have to jump back into today's event. A side note here, guys, as I said, after this AMA, our next game would be Age of Empires 2, the 2013 edition. And it looks just like that. The server is ready for those of you who'd like to join. At the top, you can see the game room that you're looking for, Steam Exchange Extra Life event. I do believe that Neville is able to stream it from his end. This is password protected. The password is capital Steam X. Okay, guys, Steam X. So without further ado, uh, uh, let's go ahead and open the floor for questions. Now, guys, some ground rules here. Again, please, we will go along and unmute you as we see you guys raise your hand on the voice chat here. And I'm just going to start at the top of the list, and everyone's list looks different. So don't be upset if it looks like you're next, but you're not actually next. Uh, and again, ground rules are going to change for this one. We're going to ask you to limit it in efforts of saving time to one question per person, and do not speak over one another. We will mute you and we will not unmute you. So, first person I see here is Iota 1963. Iota, you are free to ask anything you'd like. Go ahead.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. I'm from the U.S., and for me to see that there's some sort of investment deal or some sort of uh, advertisement deal with Rogers Communications, that's pretty much the versions of Xfinity for us as an American. So I know probably can't say too much on it, but what could that yield? What could that do for SteamX?
Thank you, sir, for your question. I do
Mhm.
believe that is best answered by our marketing PR person, which is Enki.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to take that. Thanks, Gary. And good question there as well. I mean, we've like I said, we've always maintained, right? Our marketing has a dual focus approach. We are focusing on the BSC token, but our main priority is the exchange platform. So we are starting off here in Canada. Our physical locations will start off in Canada. This is an initiative that, yes, will have global reach, but it's essentially targeting the home crowd, trying to, get that loyal fan base built. We know there's been multiple sort of different things going on in Ontario with Binance leaving, multiple other sort of facets coming into play. So the timing seems right. This is how we build our loyal fan base. And again, there are three different initiatives lined up, right? So two of them are radio focused. And one of them is a TV commercial. It's essentially a slot. So share there, but are some fairly large plays in the real world sort of marketing, like we said.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for the question.
Gary, you're muted.
Thanks. Again, guys, Iota, thank you for your question. It was a very good question. Thank you for taking care of that. I do not see anybody else having their hand up. Please, no matter uh, if you think it's silly or not, somebody else might be thinking the same thing. And if you do think that we've answered it already, but you're worried about asking it, nobody's going to be upset at you. Please go ahead and ask whatever you want. Uh, Anything, literally anything. Not doesn't have to be about today's AMA. Nothing in regards to today. Doesn't have to anything.
Oh,
Okay, now we got two different people. We got Amir. Amir, sir, you can go ahead now.
Hey guys, I'm really excited for this news. When are you planning to push this radio and TV advertising?
Uh, Again, that's a question probably better answered by Enki. Go ahead, Enki.
Yeah, I'd be happy to take it. So, a good question there. Again, Amir, we are, like I mentioned, finalizing talks. The upcoming week, we do have a few meetings lined up. We are in communication with their team, but essentially, these will be focused across the end of this year up until Q1 of 2022. It's going to be an approach, and these initiatives will be spread across that time frame.
Thank you.
Right
Thank you.
on. Thank you, Enki. Jimmy, you are next on my list, sir, and you're free to speak. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey Gary, my question was, you said like the bridging was like 50 to 60% done. What else is there to be done with the bridging?
So it depends on how familiar with code. The API is finished. Uh, Maybe 1% of it is left to finish. I consider it finished. Right now, it's all console. You need to UI, UX interface to it. You need to make it pretty for people, and you need to build the explanation module for it. So that will tie into part of Neville's modules because he's more focused on the education as well that he's constructing. And that would have to be coordinated with him. So, from my perspective, the coding and making sure it works on the back end, that's near completion. And then, of course, every time you add a blockchain to it, it has to be incorporated to it as a plugin, right? And more detail. Okay, it's a further larger discussion. More detail about.
I'm really happy about this project, and I'm looking at. I don't know what are some of the features that we are bringing on board that will stand us out and we bring a lot of people to the Steam Exchange. I'll give you an instance. So a couple of days ago, I wanted to swap my Steam Exchange coins with another coin. I wasn't actually planning to sell. I just wanted to test how it works. I wasn't going to approve the transaction, but I discovered that they charged me first of all to enable SteamX. I don't know why, but they said first of all I have to enable SteamX. so I got charged a little bit. So the second phase was then I will now have to pay the normal gas fee and the slippage.
Stefan,
So I don't know.
my apologies for cutting you off, sir. If you could move the mic slightly away from your mouth.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you hear me now, Gary?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what I was saying was that I wanted to swap my Steam X coin with some other coin. I didn't plan to actually complete the swap. I just wanted to see if it's possible to swap Steam X coin with some other coin. Then I was asked to enable something in Pancake Swap, and I got charged. After that charge, I was supposed to now pay the normal gas fee. I don't know why Pancake Swap has that feature, and I'm hoping we will not have features that will be charging customers arbitrarily. Is there anything we are doing to improve on this? Thank you.
Okay, your question is whether or not we will function the same way.
Yes, or if we are bringing anything better to the table.
Well, if you're swapping between anything on PancakeSwap, that's their liquidity pool and stuff like that. But if you're swapping between tokens on our blockchain, it will be, uh, I'm gonna say cheaper because it's not as congested, right? And again, you're swapping directly from a coin to a coin instead of doing the normal route. So most likely they are doing all the in between trades for you. You're just not seeing it on the front end. That's why you're being charged a larger amount because you're used to seeing, swapping, for example, SteamX to BNB and then BNB to something else, and those are small amounts of trading costs fees, right? Associated with that swap. But if you're going from one token to another token directly and you're skipping the steps in between, likely what's happening is the system is already going to do all of that in the back end, but it's presenting you with the price for all of these steps in one shot up front. But let's see, maybe Neville, can you want to elaborate on this here?
Sure. So essentially, what's happening, right, is when you're doing token to token. Well, first you have to enable that function with the Pancake Swap. It's like a multi-hop solution. So it's going to charge you the gas fees as if you're selling one token, but now it's going to charge you it like for the entire solution. So yes, it is a very inefficient function, I believe, and we are definitely going to have a function that is going to be more efficient than that. And again, the whole purpose of Steam Exchange is to bring all of these tools into one house for you to use, right? And there'll be no point of us doing that if they were not more efficient, right? If the whole purpose is to charge less fees or have you save on fees, right? And limit the number of transfers you have to do, then for sure we're going to do it way more efficiently than it currently stands. So I hope that answers your question a little bit better. I did want to move on and touch on something else just before we wrap it up. So did that answer your question, Stephen?
Yes, Gary. Neville, thank you very much. You did.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Neville, before you move on, can we one more? Just do one more. We literally have only one more person with their hand up. DeMello, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, sir, and then Neville can continue after that. Let's move on after that. DeMello, go ahead, sir. You're unmuted,
Hello.
and you will be the last person to
Okay.
ask questions, and then we must move on, sir.
Okay, thank you, Gary. My question is for the launchpad. When do you think that will be implemented, and how many launches do you think there will be on your exchange per week?
That's probably a better question as we get closer to the launch. So it's a two-part question. Launchpad, we're hoping to have it available as we launch so we can use it. If not, then we'll do it another way. And then the second part of your question is probably suited for, I'm gonna say Neville. Neville, you wanna take care of that one?
Yep. So previously, like we kept getting proposals for listing tokens and coins onto our platform, and we initially said, and we continue to say that we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready to take any kind of listing proposals from anyone, and the main reason is because we're very much in development. So it does tie to your question about the launchpad as well. The launchpad's also in development, and we wouldn't be able to test that launchpad adequately until our blockchain is fully developed. So like Chris mentioned, we did onboard a third lead developer. So that's going to help us, ramp things up. We are approaching Q1 2022 very rapidly, so we definitely need to continue ramping it up, and we're going to continue scaling. But the launchpad aspect, same deal, right? So we have received requests to launch from our launchpad. Even down to the degree of showing us a business registration, because that was one of the asks that we had, or that we will have also rather in our vetting process. But same deal, right? We don't want to have anyone or make any promises to anyone until our product is complete. And the main reason for that is that we don't want to make promises on something that we're not comfortable making. And our blockchain is not developed yet. Our native coin is not developed yet. It is very much in development. And once that's completed, tested, and polished, then we can open our doors to the outside, right? So for the time being, it's just the same answer we usually give for this. And if I apologize for that answer, we're still in development, right? And that's the key to take from this.
Thank you so much, Neville. And guys, again, DeMello was the last person, and I don't see anybody else with their hands up. That doesn't mean that we won't be taking questions later. Pete and Anki will still be here. Actually, Anki, I don't know. I thought you were joining us, but again, we'll circle back to that later. We do have to wrap this up here. Neville and I will be seeing you. So I was just looking to see who joined. Neville and I will be seeing you in our game room. For those of you that didn't know or missed that, we do have a game room set up. GM us. We'll give you the link to join. Now, first game after the CMA will be AOE 2, the 2013 edition. It is currently open. The lobby name for it is Steam Exchange Extra Life Event, and the password is all capitals, and it says Steam X. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you again for joining us, and you're all more than welcome to join us in the game room. We have several games that we'll be playing. We're going to start off after the CMA with AoE. The server is already loaded, and we'll wait another 15 minutes before we start off on it. Let's see. Chris, did you have something to add, or? No, sorry. Enki had something to finish off with and
No,
wrap it up.
I think I'm actually gonna let Neville have that
Okay,
opportunity. Yeah, Neville,
sure.
go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Right on. Thanks, guys. So, Enki touched a little bit about the radio and TV commercials, and a question did come up about scaling that outside of Canada. So, this particular initiative, those three campaigns we have set up, they're going to be local to Toronto, and then we consider this kind of like our pilot, right? Our real life mainstream media pilot. As soon as we see the results of this pilot, we are going to scale it outside of Canada, right? So we really do want radio commercials and TV commercials throughout the world. Also timed with key strategic events, right? So whether that be, we talked a little bit about, I'm just gonna drop it, guys. I apologize. I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to stop me. Like the Winter Classic, for example, for NHL, right? So we do
Tell him.
time. Yeah. So we do want to time these commercials and radio spots during these key events when we have the most audience, and also this is not a one-time deal, right? This is we consider a three-prong approach. So the first approach is going to be more of an introduction to Steam Exchange, letting everyone know we exist outside of the crypto space and that we're coming. The second one will be timed again strategically a little later on in our development, talking strategically about education modules and our learning modules, and inviting everyone to start looking into learning more about cryptocurrency. And then finally, the last one is going to be, hey guys, we're ready to launch, right? So this is going to be a multifaceted campaign. It's going to be ongoing, and I hope you guys catch it on your local broadcasts, right? Your local TV and your local radio. Again, I do want to just sum up with the extra life thing one more time as well. Gary did a good job. We have a gaming room. Again, if you want to join, DM any admin or mod, and they'll drop you the link for it. Gary's showing off his Sick Kids Extra Life Steam Exchange sweater. So that's really cool, Gary. I do want one. I'm really upset I didn't get one, but that's okay. Gaming for today is our objective. We all deserve a break. The community has been relentless. Our developers and our team have been relentless. So we definitely deserve this little break, and we're happy it's for a good cause. So let's get it. And again, we are matching an additional $5,000. So that brings our total up to over $12,000 raised if we reach that goal. So let's get it, guys. Let's join the cause and let's game together. Let's have fun. And thank you for joining.
Thank you, everybody. I hope this was satisfactory. We'll see you guys on the next AMA. Again, those are bi-weekly. and Pete will still be here after we close all this to answer all the questions that you guys might have, and whatever's more technical, we can always answer it later on tonight or tomorrow. Again, today is a very special day for us, so we're gonna get back to that. So I'm just gonna show it off one more time. Um, this is ready. We currently only have one person. I do believe that at least two more will join after this AMA. Thank you. Uh, After this AMA, we are. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna mention. The merch website is almost done. We're just working on the getting all the stock for the merchandise ready. Simple things like having your ex coffee or whatever. um, we'll let you guys know when that's out and ready. We are already also processing some orders that came in the DMs, and once that's all ready to go, we have the supply for you guys. We'll drop the links to the website as well. So again, this is the first game that we'll be playing. After this, we'll be switching maybe to another game, or we'll split the team, what have you, because I know not everybody knows how to play it. More people play other games. Neville, if you want to go over the games, what they are. But before you go, Steam Exchange Extra Life is the lobby name. This is the 2013 edition of AOE 2, Age of Empires 2. You could download it on Steam, the gaming platform. I believe this is just around $20 or maybe even less. And the password to jump into the game is SteamX, all capitals.
So after this game, I am going to jump onto console and play some Call of Duty. So if you any Call of Duty fans in here, let me know, and we'll set you up in the gaming room and go from there. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining. If more questions do come up, Enki and Pete will be around. And if there are questions that pertain to us, the core team, we will definitely do another session for questions tomorrow. Thanks again, guys, and thanks for your support. Game on.
Thank you guys for joining us. I think we're gonna call it for the recorded AMA part, and then we can just leave it on. Thank you, Neville. We'll just leave it on, and again, thank you guys, and we'll see you in the game room.
Thanks, everyone.
So we'll just